Yo, what's good, everyone? Today, I'm back with another one. So, at the moment, you guys gave me 12 views on part 1, and part 2 is doing okay with 3 views. So, the goal for this video is at least 10 views, and then I'll be posting part 4 and 5 if we hit that goal. So, we left off with Ezekiel, shackled up after being teleported to the League of Villains and saving his mom barely. So now Ezekiel's just shackled up, and Ezekiel's saying, "Let me go," and then Awful One says, it's gonna take a lot to get out of this run. So in order to get him to join their forces, because of how strong he was, they decided that the only way to mess with him is not physically, but mentally. Alzell would put these headphones in his ears, and suddenly Ezekiel would hear these weird sounds coming out of the headphones, almost like aliens, and something was wrong. And then he would hear a lot of screaming, and he'd be moving and trying to break out the shackles, but then something really strikes him. He hears more of it and more of it until eventually, bang, everything just goes silent in his head. And he realizes that the screams are from people dying. So this was something Awful One had. So he knew he was dying in the city, and he wasn't, and if anyone important had died. But for Ezekiel, at the age of 15, this is a lot to handle, as he'll just keep playing this in his ears all day, even when he's trying to sleep. So he'd have to sleep with people's death, curdling screams. And Ezekiel never got over this, because although he has a strong mental, it wasn't built for things like this. Just pure torture. But this wouldn't make Ezekiel change. He would still be a hero. For now. Until All Might decides to do something worse. He tells the villains to go on attack to UA, saying that if Deku doesn't join the League of Villains, they'll kill everyone there, and he will personally come and take everyone out. And this would mess with Ezekiel a lot, because imagine you've just heard, you just barely saved your mom, and you hear what they're about to do, and you can't really do anything because you're chained up. Nah, I just couldn't take it personally. But Ezekiel just wait. He would wait and wait, and he would just look silently, thinking of the best course of action. But then his eyes would start to get a little bit funny. As rather than being purple like they usually are when he's focused, they turn red. He didn't know what to do, but he started getting angry. No one was helping him. He's just there in a room stuck by himself. Ezekiel starts to get angrier and angrier until, bang, his head turns completely round, and he looks at them with these eyes of death. He breaks the shackles, hands down, and starts to beat on the villains. And he would murder the villain. Well, almost murder the villains. Until All For One would quickly use his quirk and try and get him under control, but Deku would just bust out of the area. As he wouldn't say a word, he would just start running. He would get angrier, tears running down his face. Why the hell did they keep him up there? Suddenly, Deku is changing. He starts becoming more angry. He doesn't want to be a hero anymore. What is his life ensuing? He feels like he needs to find himself. He would stay away, not call anyone, not call his mom, just stay away from people. And would cut to Bakugo, like, shocked at what Izuku did, but shocked at the fact that Izuku got caught. And like, nah. At least now we know he's a damn nerd. But like everyone would just look at him with these eyes, and it would tell a million stories when he done that. And they would like try and look for where Izuku was. They couldn't find him. At the moment, Izuku was just like by himself, alone in the dark. But they didn't know that. And obviously Inko would get worried. He would like, she would be like, where's my son? And she would like start getting ready to file a complaint with the school. And you know, like everyone's all worried, and they know this is gonna give the school a bad reputation. And Aizawa was like really on edge because he actually liked Izuku as a person. But now he was gone. As they just prayed that he hadn't become a villain. Meanwhile, Deku was just alone. And then, you know, All For One would come again. And Deku would like start using his telekinesis, telling him to back off. And like, All For One would like stutter a little bit, and he'd be like, well, I have a proposition for you. If you joined League of Villains, then we will finally allow you to control your psychic powers fully. And he said, what do you mean? I already have full control. And he says, well, you don't. I can tell that you've been holding back. You never used 100%, have you? Once, only once. And they'd say, don't you remember that kid back here? What he did? And I remember what you guys did to me. He would scream. Yes, of course. But what do you think is better? Being there where you never fully learn to control your powers, or being here with villains that will help you control your powers? And before you say anything, this time we've got your mum in the van. He would try and use his telekinesis, but he had not noticed this. While he had been talking, they had shackled him up. So they said, that or your mum dies. And if you leave us alone, we'll allow your mum to live happily and freely in a place far away from you. And with no choice, Izuku would look at them with his blood-curdling eyes and would say, fine. So Izuku would like start learning how to control his powers from All For One, and All For One would just sniff her. knowing they'd got a strong villain on their midst.
Hey, I want Halloween nails, orange and purple.
Yeah, so he would basically just get ready and he would start being trained in the ways of being a villain. And they would start to change him psychologically. Because when you're around these kind of people, it's not really easy to change. And slowly but surely, he would get used to being a villain. And eventually, he would kind of forget what it was like to just save people and be the one to be there. What it meant to be a hero. He'd forget it slowly. And he would start to go on this dark spiral because, well, when you've been put through all the torture he has, it's not easy. They would start experimenting on Deku, giving him enhancers, allowing him to go above what a normal mental capacity a human can go to. But with each pill, each drug they gave him to change him, he would slowly lose his sanity, slowly becoming more and more deranged, yet still a genius. Kinda like Joker vibes. And one day, they would plan an attack on UA, and Deku would just smile. He had lost a lot of sanity, so he didn't really care about UA anymore. And he would say, "Let's go kill All Might. Let's go kill All Might. All Might. Dead. Dead." With a smile on his face. As they would just rush. And, they would start off. And he would start off with Bakugo. As he would jump in with some explosions. And they would say, Bakugo. No, he wouldn't say anything, sorry. Because, although he had lost a lot of sanity, he still had a pretty strong mental and had a lot of memory. So, he, just was a calm guy right now, but he had lost some of his sanity. And he would, look at Bakugo, death stare with his eyes. As he would say, "What happened to you, Izuku? You stopped being such a damn nerd, finally. But for some reason, you're a stupid little villain." And these words would tick Izuku off. Izuku would start to use his psychic abilities as he would start to bend Bakugo's back as Bakugo would scream in agony. As he would suddenly change appearance. As he would start to just squeeze Bakugo's heart from the inside. As you could hear Bakugo slowly screaming with anger. As he would just keep squeezing his heart until he started throbbing. And eventually, Bakugo would almost stop breathing. But he would throw an explosion, throwing Deku's focus off. So Deku would, instead of going for his heart, go for his mind. As he would use his telekinesis to link their brains together, showing him all the tortures he had been through. And Bakugo would just look like a crazy person, as his eyes would just change. Bakugo would no longer be able to move, and Deku would just smile as he walks off. Bakugo had been messed with so much mentally that he was just paralyzed, unable to move. And then he would go for his next victim, which would be Shoto Todoroki. Shoto would look at him, and he would get ready. They would both give each other a stare, And he would realize that the best way to take out Shoto was also with his mind, because he realized that if he could play enough mind games with people, no one was really as strong as they tried to portray. He would watch as Todoroki would come at him, but as he did, he would start to scramble through Todoroki's memories using his telekinesis abilities of linking brains together. He would start to scramble through his brain until he found what made him insecure. And when he looked at what happened between him and his mother and his father, then it made Shoto stop in his tracks. He would look at Izuku. As he would try and throw something, it would absolutely miss. And this wasn't the doing of Izuku this time. This was because of how Shoto was feeling mentally. When a person can't think straight, they can't focus. And when they can't focus, they can't be as good as they are normally. So he would just start missing every shot he had, everything, everything. And Izuku would just cackle as Shoto was getting more and more concerned. Why the hell was he missing? And Deku would just laugh at him and exclaim that he was just a worthless piece of junk. Junk that should be thrown out. Telling Shoto that if the machine can't hit his shot, then he is nothing. As he would walk away, Shoto would keep trying to hit even other villains he couldn't hit. He would just laugh maniacally, knowing that his job was done. He had finally got what he wanted. A weakened Shoto Todoroki. And with this, the attack would finish. Almost. Until All Might arrives. Seeing the state of the students, he would manage to barely finish off All Might. All for One. But Izuku was a different story. He would just start playing mind games with his head, turning him into something different. He would look at how all of All Might's biggest fears and compact them into one. And he would actually show that Kurogiri was his master's grandson, and he would get this shocked expression, and he would stop fighting. He would go still, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, All Might. Did I strike a nerve?" And All Might would try and hit his punch, but Izuku would just start weaving them, weave nations, because the second Izuku got into a person's head, he could mess with their focus, and that focus would always cause them to miss easy chances that they would normally miss when they were focused and had a good mental state. Izuku would just look and laugh maniacally, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. What's up, All Might? Not so hero of PC now, are we?" You just laugh maniacally, just messing with All Might, as he would start showing him pictures of torture, and All Might would just lose it from there, being paralyzed, as Izuku would make sure to finish him, killing him, as he would give All Might a dirty punch to his face after he missed a shot. And this punch was filled with sand because he put it from the ground. So this would go in all over All Might's face, not allowing him to see. And he would just start to beat him up from there. Since he couldn't see, he was like a blind horse. Couldn't see a thing, couldn't hit anything, just useless, unhinged, a true bastard. Just left there. Not a hero of peace. No way. And it was just shocking. He was just on another level. This is where I'm gonna leave it for this part. If you want to find out what happens next, then like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Bye. In a bit.